Hello, and welcome to English Podcast with Missy. Here we learn English for real life. Clear, slow, and simple. Let's learn English together. Are you ready? Let's begin. Hello, my dear friends. It's Missy here. Welcome back to our cozy English corner. Today, I want to talk about something that feels very close to my heart. What it's like to be an introvert at work. If you're someone who needs quiet to think, who prefers listening to speaking, or who enjoys working alone, you might understand me very well today. I used to think being quiet at work was a problem. Everyone else seemed louder, faster, more confident. They spoke quickly in meetings, made jokes, shared ideas without fear. And me? I often stayed silent, thinking deeply before I said a word. But over time, I learned something. Quiet doesn't mean weak. Silence doesn't mean shy. And being an introvert can actually be a superpower. So today, I want to share a story, a day in my life at work, and what I've learned about being an introvert in a busy world. So, make yourself a cup of tea, find a cozy spot, and let's begin. It's 7:45 a.m. The city is already awake. Cars honking, people walking fast, coffee shops buzzing. But my apartment is calm. The air smells like fresh toast and tea. I sit by the window with my notebook and write down my to-do list. Finish project report. Team meeting at 9. Send email to client. Lunch with Sarah. I like lists. They help me stay focused. They make the noisy world feel a little more organized. When I arrive at the office, I see my colleagues already talking and laughing near the coffee machine. I smile and wave. I like them, but I don't always join in the morning chatter. I prefer a quiet start. I sit at my desk, open my laptop, and breathe slowly. Before the meeting starts, I read over my notes, highlight key points, and prepare what I might say. At 9 o'clock sharp, we gather in the meeting room. It's bright and busy. Everyone has coffee cups and notebooks. My manager, Tom, starts. All right, team, let's go around and share updates. Who wants to go first? 3 people raise their hands at once. They talk quickly, ideas bouncing from one to another like ping-pong balls. I listen. I write. I think. Then Tom looks at me and smiles. Missy, what's new with your project? I look up, take a breath, and say calmly, I've been reviewing the data and writing the report. I think it's almost ready. I'll finish it today. Tom nods. Good work. Then he adds, Can you also help Sarah check the charts? Sure. I say with a small smile. That's it. Simple. Quiet. Clear. I didn't need to speak loudly. I didn't need to make a joke. But I said what mattered, and that's enough. After the meeting, I go to the break room to make some tea. Sarah walks in and says, You were so calm in the meeting. I always feel nervous when I talk. I laugh softly. Me too, I say, but I try to breathe first. We sit by the window. Outside, the city looks busy. People walking, phones ringing, cars moving. But inside, for a moment, it's peaceful. Sarah says, "Sometimes I think quiet people are the best listeners." I smile. Maybe that's true. We like to think before we speak. She nods. That's a good thing. Not everyone does that. I sip my tea, feeling grateful. Sometimes a quiet friendship starts in small moments like this. Back at my desk, I put on my headphones and start working on my project. The office is full of sounds: typing, printers, phones. But in my little world, it's just music and words. When I focus deeply, time disappears. I love that feeling. When my mind is calm, my thoughts clear, my work smooth. Some people need group energy to do their best. I need silence. Around noon, I finish my report. I read it again, carefully, fixing small details. Then I send it to my manager. A few minutes later, he replies, "Excellent work, Missy. Clear and professional." That message makes my heart warm. It reminds me that quiet effort is noticed, even if it's not loud. At lunchtime, I meet Sarah at a small cafe near the office. We sit by the window. She orders pasta. I get soup and tea. She says, "Do you ever feel tired after meetings?" I laugh softly. All the time. I need silence after talking a lot. She nods. Me too. After work, I don't even want to answer the phone. We both laugh. It feels good to talk to someone who understands. Sometimes being an introvert doesn't mean being alone. It means finding people who respect your quiet. People you can be silent with and still feel connected. At 2 p.m., Tom sends a message. "Team, we have an urgent issue. Let's brainstorm in the meeting room." Oh no, I think. Another group discussion. We gather again. Everyone starts talking at once. Ideas flying everywhere. Fast, loud, confusing. I try to follow, but my brain needs time to think. In noisy situations, ideas come to me later, not instantly. So I take notes quietly. When the meeting ends, I stay behind for a moment. Then I write down my thoughts. Slowly, clearly. A few hours later, I send Tom a message with my suggestions. He replies, "That's brilliant, Missy. Let's use your plan." And I smile. Sometimes it's okay not to speak first. Thinking deeply after the noise can bring strong ideas, too. The workday ends. I walk out of the office feeling tired but peaceful. The sunset paints the sky orange and pink. Some colleagues are going to dinner together. They invite me. I smile and say, "Thank you, but I think I'll go home tonight." At home, I change into comfy clothes, make tea, and open my book. The room is quiet. The world outside fades away. That's how I recharge. In silence, in stillness, and I know I'll wake up tomorrow ready to work again. When I first started working, I thought I needed to be louder to be seen. But now I understand that everyone has a different rhythm. Some people shine in conversation, others shine in calm creation. Introverts bring something special to the workplace. Deep focus, careful listening, thoughtful ideas, empathy. We might not talk the most, but we notice the most. And that's a kind of intelligence, too. So if you're quiet like me, don't change who you are. You don't have to shout to be successful. You just have to show your best in your own quiet way. At work, I often use imperatives, verbs that give advice or directions. They are simple, direct, and strong. Let's review some helpful ones for introverts. Take a breath before you speak. Listen carefully. Write your thoughts down first. Don't rush to answer. Speak clearly and calmly. Believe in your quiet power. Imperatives remind us that action doesn't always mean noise. Sometimes it means steady steps, quiet choices, and calm confidence. Try making your own list of imperatives for your day. For example, start your morning slowly. Focus on one task at a time. Celebrate small wins. These small commands can guide you toward a peaceful, confident work life. Thank you, my dear friends, for spending this time with me. If you're an introvert like me, I hope this story made you feel proud of your quiet strength. If you're not, maybe it helped you understand someone in your life who is. Remember, your voice doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. Your ideas don't need to come fast to be brilliant. And your silence doesn't mean emptiness. It means depth. Take care of your energy. Work with calm. And always listen to your heart before you speak. Until next time, this is Missy, wishing you peace, focus, and quiet joy.